Elsewhere, you should not buy a 2-kilogram packet of maize meal at more than 115 shillings. And if you do, you're being exploited by millers.
Well, this is according to the Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Willy Bett. Kenyans have been hoping for the saving grace of Unga ugali from the Galana Kulalu irrigation scheme. But Dann Mwangi serves us with the reality that, as things stand, this Unga will not be on dinner tables anytime soon.
The Water and Irrigation Cabinet Secretary, alongside his agriculture counterpart and the principal secretaries, are among those who have been briefed on the latest updates in regard to the Galana Kulalu project, which is including the acquisition of new equipment for this project, which is to add on to what is here, such as these that are rambling beside me. The ramblings are not limited to machinery here. They're also including the questions and the rambles by Mwananchi on what happened to the maize meal that's meant to come from this project, and at a very subsidized price.
We have the sample that we have shown can be produced at 75 shillings. That is part of the proof of concept, but it's not for production. Now we are going into the production phase, and we are going to invite the private sector to come on board to do the production for us.
The Cabinet Secretary was non-committal on when the maize meal from the 7.3 billion shilling project will be produced and available on retail shelves. He instead chose to stick to the broader narrative of when the project will be handed over from the National Irrigation Board to the Agriculture Development Corporation, ADC.
By March, we want to see NIB handover to ADC. After March, we'd like to see ADC now commercialize. These are 10,000 acres plus the extended 10,000, 20,000 in total.
Much as the responses were evasive, the timeline CS Wamalwa gives for the commencement of commercialization further points to the availability of the 75 shilling 2-kilogram pack of Unga at the shops being a distant reality. Before the setting up and operationalizing of the commercial functions of the plants, it may be a while, with some critics arguing that it could take a number of years. This subsidized maize meal has been the hope of many Kenyans who have been struggling under the weight of increasing prices after the state-sponsored subsidy period ended. Millers want Kenyans of further increased prices. However, the Agriculture Cabinet Secretary, Willy Bett, is not in full agreement with them.
Millers are also becoming businessmen. Of course, they are businessmen, but we don't want them to overstretch their business acumen. With profits and everything else loaded in, the price of flour, and this one we have had a meeting with the millers and we have agreed, the price should never exceed 115 per 2-kilogram bag.
The CS says the millers are buying a 90-kilogram bag at a maximum of 3,000 shillings, while the government is buying at 3,200 shillings.
We will take any other intervention if the prices threatens to go beyond 3,200.
The ping-pong between the government and millers over what is the truth remains to be, at its heart, a concern on food security for the country. The Galana Kulalu project is meant to deal with these issues, but has been struggling with the yield on the first phase dropping from 31 bags an acre in the period of April to October 2016 to 20 bags an acre between March 2017 to date.
As it was in the country, the other part of the country, we are under an attack of armyworms, which actually it took a very swift action in order to control. Otherwise, we would have lost everything. Considering the temperatures in this place are very high, they are conducive for this type of pest. There was some observation of an abnormally ambient high temperatures, which somehow affected the pollination.
The irrigation project, whose progress has already been delayed, once completed as promised, is to open the doors for phase 2, which covers 400,000 acres. As the country steps into these subsequent phases, the cost element remains a significant factor, and the government is looking to have universities offer solutions to lighten the load. These interventions, CS Bett says, are to reduce Kenyans' spend on food from an average of 47% of income to 25%. Dann Mwangi, NTV, at the Galana Kulalu irrigation scheme.